Cast.
Do you mind if, when you once you boot up or whatever, I can just see your categories list page?
Categories list?
Yes, I think I have something wrong. I have failed. I'm failing.
Is our group project for louder?
Mm-hmm.
Is our group project louder?
We will have one, yeah. Yes. Yep. So, in case you were wondering, the latest version of this code is on GitHub, like this version right here. It's at the lecture notes repository that we've been working on. So, feel free to go look at that. But here we are. You ready? 3, 2, 1, bam. So now we're on this page. We want to link to the very next page. So this very next page is the actual picture, the photo detail. So before we write this page, let's look at it. We have a URL that is /panda/0. If we go to the other one, it's /panda/1. So now we know that we can kind of guess that second thing, that 0 or 1, is probably the index of the photo. It is inside of the array. Also see we have some links here. So let's head back here and go, well, what's the link? Looks to be like the entire image. So let's wrap this. It is. It's very cute. Let's wrap this in a link tag. Just like that. Import link. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. I'm on the wrong page entirely. Photo list, here we go. So link, import, link from React Router, DOM. And then 2, well, where do we want to go? We want to go to whatever hobby we're on, right? So this .props hobby. And then / we want to go to the current index. So now we're going to /pandas/0, /miniatures/1. So if I head here to Panda Bears, each one of these is now a link to give us a /panda/1. And if I go all the way back to home, miniature painting, miniatures, miniatures/0, miniatures/1. So we have our link, but we haven't actually made the page yet. So we need to go make that page. Over here in our app.js, we're going to find a new route. In our path is going to be /hobby/index. And we want to load up component equals, and we called it photo detail, right?
So instead of you finish up the all components and import stuff, everything together on an app, you just come back and do it, add it up.
This is like our design. Same design? No.
This is designing something.
No, like I
It
don't want to
is,
say
it's-
that. Like I know that word, but I don't know how to say it. Pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's like
the,
a does.
it's defining the pattern for our URLs.
Oh.
All this is doing is saying, hey, our site now has 3 different URLs. Now, whenever we go to that URL, bring up the corresponding component. It's like a table of contents, a giant lookup table, a roadmap even.
So when we do this kind of router project, then we start from browser router,
Mhm.
and start from categories, and then after finish up the categories,
Yep.
and then we start on photo list.
Yep.
And then after that we do
Photo
detail.
Yep.
And then come back to app and then add
Mhm.
whatever we need to put.
Yep. Yep, those are kind of the baby steps where it's like, hey, I want to define my app. I want to define my first page. I want to get that working. I want to get that looking like something. Then I have my second page. I want to get that working. And on my third page, instead of trying to do all of it at once, because if you do all of it once, you're probably not going to succeed.
Right.
If you do small iterative changes like we did here, it'd be great.
And so you said a hobby,
Mhm.
and it has to match with the
Yep.
parameter that match,
Yeah.
what? Has to match for
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
The name, the same name.
So now that we have the page, let's see if this works. This should bring us to, if I click a page, hey, photo detail. That's awesome. Clear this. Now I head to our photo list. Bring up our key over here. So now we're going to get rid of this and head over to our photo detail page. And let's render out, let's log out this .props.match.params to see what's there. So now that our route is kind of our first kind of, our route now has 2 parameters. It has hobby and ID. So when I come over here and log this out, we should see, and we do see, miniatures and index. So that match.params, that this.props.match.params has an actual everything that we specify inside of our URL. So we can add as many different parameters to our URL as we want. You ever see URLs that are like this long that have a whole bunch of stuff in them? Probably there's a lot of parameters in there. But now we know what hobby we're on and also what picture to display. So in the same way we did it over on photo list, we're going to import hobbies from .data / hobbies.json. Const hobby equals hobbies this.props.match.params. And then if we check out the photo details page, we have, looks like just the title of the image as well as the image of the image and the source of the image as well. So in here, let's bring over this. Then inside of our section,
And so, and why don't you have it as like this, that pops up, matched up params?
Oh.
Hobbies.
this should be hobby.
Okay. Hobbies.
Can you do after home and then this and then
Yep, so it'd be like home, this, hobby.
It should be, could be a component also.
And can you just console hobby?
Yeah, just to see what it is.
Well, instead of this dot pops dot match dot params.
Oh, yeah. So hobby in this case does not equal this dot match dot params. Hobby is the actual data.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have that plain and then. Okay. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Where my
Could I just see the photo list link again?
yeah, sure.
Because I messed mine up and I can't remember.
The key,
Stuff matched up for him, stuff. Okay.
and you're pulling the index from the mapping.
Correct.
Okay, so and it has no bearing on the from what's in
Right.
that too. Okay.
Yep.
That's,
So here we have our header, which is the hobby.photos, and then this dot props match dot params dot index dot title. Yeah.
The const hobby here, that would be equivalent to it was const current hobby.
Yep.
in photo list.
Yep.
So when you call hobby later, hobby.title, hobby.photos,
Mm-hmm.
it's able to distinguish between that hobby and the hobby that we're pulling in out of the
Yep.
URL.
I could rename this to current hobby.
I think that would help me.
That's what I was.
Yep. Do that.
That's what you did before.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then our image source equals all of that dot image URL. When we come back here, here's our title, and then there's our image. So now I can go back, click that one, the image page, go back to my home page. I should now be able to click Panda Bears, click that one. There we go. It's not styled the best, but that's what it is. Yes, Jordan.
Just sticking for added functionality as well as a problem that we're running into here. Once you're at the point where you're seeing just the photo and you see like the little source at the bottom.
Yep.
When you click on the photo itself, redirecting yourself to source. If you were to use link, would it confuse React Router DOM and should you use an AREP or no? Page?
So it's now we have to link to an external site.
Yes. Yeah, because we've had an issue where it essentially puts it into the URL along with, and then obviously doesn't like that.
So you're doing something like this to equals right,
Yeah. It's
and then the 2 would be to all the bleh. And then it's source URL.
Yes.
Link is not defined. Import link from React Router DOM. Yeah, it's getting confused. Link always assumes that it's on the local domain.
It's on the what?
It's on the local domain. So it's whatever domain we're on, it's going to assume that.
So would you just use an A tag at that point?
I would.
So that's why when I tried to do the source URL, I would just tack it onto the end of localhost 3000.
See, I didn't know if using an A tag was acceptable.
It is when you're going to other sites. Ta-da. It's gonna have a ta-da moment, I swear.
Ah,
And yeah, so his link is trying to link you to something in your local domain. Yep, that makes sense. Could you create something that would kind of just delete the junk before it and just leave that in your not how it
Could you probably, should you?
Just like the Greek in my text.
You could create an external link component that's literally just an A tag that has two properties, a URL and a text.
Sure. You can use an A tag.
what are we looking at? I'm just waiting for it to load. What is this?
That's the Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is the source for the image.
Yes, you need to have a driver. For some reason, this photo.
Yes, bless you. So how are we feeling?
Great.
Still kind of useful. Mainly by I fell off the wagon somehow.
Oh,
But I also have like components inside
You just
of the pages that I'm working with, and so
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep track of it all.
okay.
Like for some reason, the link that I asked you about on photo lists is
Oh,
broken. Like I mean, it takes me to the A page. It takes me to my photo details page. But if I look at the URL, it's like an array object %sign 20 object, and I don't know why because I have it set to a thing. Hey,
I just want to peek.
go for it. It looks like that, and I've got it set to stuff props stuff hobby, which is my current category. So
So hobby is the entire object.
okay,
In that
You don't
case.
even have
so it's the data. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just need it to not be that.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's a semicolon.
You have to come up with it because it's
So for the next half hour, I'm going to push this source code to GitHub, open lab to work on your homework from last night, and kind of apply what we've learned here. And feel free to come up and ask me individual questions about your different problems. So I'll push it up, and then that's it.
Thank you.
thank you so much.
We'll